Okay, I am live on YouTube as well. You can become a subscriber on TikTok and ask any questions, or you can join the live on YouTube. The links are in the TikTok bio. Okay, chat. Mode. Hello everyone, I am live now on YouTube as well. Anyone joining on YouTube can ask their questions. In the meanwhile, I will take some common questions that have been asked. There are no questions on TikTok yet. Okay, so I'll take some general questions that have been asked on YouTube comments, uh, mainly around. Let me open YouTube. Where is that? Anyone coming live on YouTube can ask their questions now. Okay, so the comments. There are some questions from overseers in the UK. I have seen a common line of questioning. I know other lawyers may advise you to make any applications. I know many individuals become members and they ask some questions. Overseers applying any visas, FLRM or any other visa, waivers, and all of that to buy time. I always advise against making all these frivolous applications. Home Office is not happy with receiving applications which where the individual is not eligible for what they are applying. Yes, there is some level of discretion, but completely off application doesn't make any sense. So this is a general advice that I would give to everyone. Other lawyers may advise, they may make a lot of money on your case, but I would always advise against it unless you qualify on the 20-year route or any other route, whatever that is, parent visas and 7-year route of the child, etc., whatever that is. Unless you are qualifying, don't make applications. It will just ruin your immigration situation. Once you give work to home office, once they refuse that application, they will be on your case and they will try and do whatever administrative removal or whatever they can. So don't fall prey to any representatives who ask you to file these applications, and they will say that they will do appeals and all, but you will lose all the money. If you don't have a case, don't file. That is what I had also made a video in the past on TikTok and YouTube as well. So unless you have a case, don't make applications. That's my wise advice. Okay, I am live on YouTube. Anyone joining can ask the questions. On YouTube, it's an open live. Anyone can ask questions. Okay, so that is one. Another one, spouse visa financial requirement. Yeah, anyone applying for the first time on the spouse or partner visa category, they will be subject to the 29,000 financial requirement, which will increase to 34,500 maybe by the end of the year and to 38,700 by April next year. So that's what the government proposes. Someone who is already in the UK, at least on a fiance visa or spouse visa, they will continue on that 18,600 route only. Okay, no questions yet on YouTube. So that is on the spouse visa. EU settlement scheme. General questions I've got many times on YouTube. Applications which are filed nowadays or even after October last year are declared as invalid as late applications. There is not much recourse. You should only try and challenge. Yes, it is possible to challenge provided you have a right under the EU settlement scheme. If you don't have a right, get your right assessed first, only then try and challenge by judicial reviews, pre-action protocol, whatever you're doing. Other than that, it's just a waste of time. I We have had done many cases where individuals have qualified, and yes, it was declared as invalid by Home Office, sending them PAP letter or judicial review threatening letter. Yes, decisions have been withdrawn and cases have been considered. But unless you have a genuine case, a reasonable chance of success, and you do qualify on the EU settlement scheme for whatever visa that is, it doesn't make filing those applications and getting those invalidity decisions. So that is the general question I've got on new entrant visas. 30,960 would be the lowest point. because most of the jobs on the skilled occupations, what I've seen, I think, if I'm not wrong, most of the jobs they do require. So if I'm doing the numbers, 3960 is what the lowest salaries come to. Usually the normal salaries are higher. So that's why 3960 is the lowest that one would have to be paid on new entrant category visas. I know people try to do that 80% of that 3960 or whatever that is. That is not possible. 3960 is the lowest that can be paid, 30,960 per year for a new entrant category visa. Anyone joining live on TikTok, it's a subscriber only. You would have to become a subscriber and then ask any questions. On YouTube, I'm live, it's open, anyone can ask questions. Okay, another general topic of questions on the YouTube channel that I have seen. Okay. How do you get refunds? NHS refunds. Okay, interesting. Many people are asking that. Anytime, so you only get a refund when you make another application and pay the immigration health surcharge. So you are already on a skilled worker visa, you apply to change your employer, let's say, or anything else that you do. You only get a refund proportionately. So let's say I file the application and I get a decision today, 30th of April, on the new application. From tomorrow onwards, if minimum 1 year was remaining from tomorrow, that is from 1st of May onwards, if minimum 1 year was remaining on the previous visa, only then a refund will be issued. That's the first point. If 9 months are remaining, 11 months are remaining, to the best of my knowledge, Home Office does not refund proportionately for half years or so. Minimum 1 year has to be there, only then they would refund. A refund is generated by default. That's what I've seen, usually in 28 days. Worst case scenario in 90 days. After 28 days, I think you can follow up with them. If you Google search for NHS Immigration Health Surcharge Refunds UKVI, that website should come up. I think there's an email or something. You can follow up with them, and they do help out with that. That's what I've seen from past. But usually refunds are generated automatically. So that is about refunds. You don't get a refund if you decide to leave the UK. This is another question on refunds I have got. Okay, I've got a question on YouTube. First, I'll complete this refunds point. If you got a 5 year skilled worker visa, you used up 2 years of it, and now you decide to go back to your home country, you don't get any refund. There is no mechanism for that. The agents are not trying to trick you. Home Office doesn't give any refund back if you decide to leave the UK. Only when a new application is made and a new immigration surcharge is paid, a refund is triggered. That's the only way you can get a refund. Okay, Surya has asked a question on YouTube. What is that? I'm on tier 2 visa, came to India for vacation due to medical. I had to stay back for 4 months. It's fine when I come back to the UK. Yeah, it should be fine. You can come. So you stayed outside the UK for 4 months on a tier 2 visa. You're asking whether it's okay to come back. Yes, provided you still have your job, your sponsor is okay, everything is fine. It should be okay. And make sure you reported everything to your sponsor and they are updated. They are on the same page. So I don't think there should be any issue of returning to the UK with a 4 month absence outside the UK. Okay, Samir, next question on YouTube. How long can I stay outside the UK in a year? I am on spouse visa. There is no specific number for that. I have done cases where people have been outside for a year also. But anytime you are outside the UK on a spouse visa, there is no 180-day rule per se. But this is our advice that we always give clients is if you're outside of the UK for more than 180 days, more than 6 months, definitely keep evidence that you and your partner are still together. If you are in different countries, definitely keep evidence of chats, e-tickets of traveling to each other, whatever you're doing, sending monies to each other, keep all the evidence. So that's my answer, Mukesh Raja. For UK spouse visa, I have submitted SU07 form. Does it cause any visa refusal or will it be considered make the applicant stronger? SU07 is useless. You don't have to fill up that form for a spouse visa. It's required for adult dependent relatives. They will ignore that. Success rate of student visa depends on your case. Overstayed almost 8 years while fighting in courts. Lost all operations. We fed up and returned to our country 2 years ago. Okay. Fine. How long does a newborn baby have to stay in the UK to get settlement UK visa? And if a newborn gets a visa, does it guarantee the parents the same visa? Newborn. So if the parents don't have any status and the child is born in the UK, the child has to wait for 7 years to get indefinite leave to remain. And after 10 years living in the UK, they can also qualify for registration as a British citizen. Any questions on TikTok? Okay, no one has subscribed yet. So on TikTok, if you want to ask any questions, you need to be a subscriber. So I have 8 minutes on YouTube, which is open. After that, it will also switch to member only. You'll have to become a member if you want to ask any questions. I will try and answer as many as I can. How long does that's done? Surya, do I provide any evidence at immigration for stay back in India for 4 months, or they just gonna ask why I had stayed for? If you have evidence, you can carry that. Doesn't hurt. Yeah, for the 4 months absent, they may or may not ask. It doesn't matter to them much. But if they do ask, if you have any evidence, it would help your case. Himanshu, I have a US student visa refusal. What are my chances? What are my chances? It depends on your genuineness. I don't think US visa refusal by default would affect your UK visa situation, but definitely they will look at what your case was, what was the reason of that refusal, etc. You will have to state that on the application form. But then, yeah, your UK visa depends on the facts of your case, your genuineness of the case, etc. That's what I can say. I have about 7 more minutes for open live on YouTube. Anyone coming on YouTube can ask their questions. After that, it will switch to member only. So you can become a member and ask member to support the channel. It just costs, I think, 3 quid or something. That's the cost of a coffee and support the channel. Okay, next question. Anish, what is the current reply time for spouse visa application? Standard decision to 6 months. Standard decision spouse visa is 6 months still, to the best of my knowledge. Priority decision 30 working days, about 2 months, 6 to 8 weeks, I would say. Priority. Naomi, if a child is not born in the UK, is he still eligible for the ILR after 7 years? No, he's not eligible for ILR after 7 years. Can the parents apply ILR through the child? No, parents cannot apply ILR through the child. Whenever the child gets any status, parents will only get a 10-year root leave, if any, and continue living in the UK for up to 10 years to qualify for ILR. Okay, Imanshu, I have an interview. How is difficult is the embassy? Yeah, I think you are applying for a student visa. Yeah. So Imanshu, if you're applying for a student visa, whatever are the facts of the case, you need to tell them clearly. They're trying to assess why do you really want a student visa? Are you a genuine student? That's what they're looking for. So you don't have to prepare anything. If you're a genuine student, you will come through. Yeah. So that's what I can say. Already left from UK 2 years ago. Can I come back 2 years ago? Left the UK. 12-month ban. Okay. Yes, you can. If you do get a genuine job and genuine vacancy and everything is genuine, you can come back on the skilled worker route. 5 more minutes of open live on YouTube. Ask as many questions as you can. I will try and answer. No questions yet. I'll take some general questions from the comments on the channel. There is one more question that I have constantly seen on our YouTube channel is about a student can only switch. Okay, are there any questions on TikTok? No. Okay, on TikTok, if you want to ask any questions, you need to become a subscriber. YouTube is still open for next 4.5 minutes. What is a non-salaried employment? Yeah, I cannot explain immigration rules over here. I'm not going to sit and explain what is non-salaried employment. Tell me the facts of the case, and I will try and answer within 30 minutes, 30 seconds to 1 minute. Okay. So this is another general question that I have seen on the YouTube comments is a student cannot switch unless they have completed the course of study, but a dependent of the student can switch. I have done this myself. I remember last month someone became a care worker from the student. So the dependents can switch. I know some of the people are getting those emails from the caseworker. I think they are overzealous caseworkers who are just asking unnecessary things. In the immigration rules, the provision is very clear. Only the student requires the course completion, not the dependent. So if a dependent files switching application from dependent to becoming a skilled worker or care worker, they can do that. I have done that successfully. I know that for a fact. So there is nothing, it's not just the rules I'm interpreting. So some people are getting those emails where they are asking for the course completion evidence of the student, of the main applicant. That does not make sense. Immigration rules don't allow that. I don't know, some caseworkers may be doing it wrongly. It needs to be fought out engage immigration lawyers or etc. and get it sorted. Because yes, I have done several cases where dependents have switched without the student completing the course. I know the student will have to go outside the UK and then apply for the dependent visa, but the dependent can switch without the main applicant completing their course of study. 2.5 more minutes of open live on YouTube, then it will switch to subscriber only. Okay, another general questions that I have on YouTube. Let us see. Yeah, one common question about spouse visa financial requirements, spouse partner visa. If you enter the route on 18,600, the first visa application, whether a fiance visa or the first spouse visa, is on 18,600 financial, you continue on that 18,600 financial requirement only till the time you reach your ILR, if the partner is the same, if the sponsor is the same. So that is what Home Office has confirmed. So currently the financial requirement is 29,000. If you enter the route today on the 29,000, then throughout, even if the rules will keep on changing, by the end of the year it will increase to 34,500, I think, and by next April 38,700. But those changes will not apply to you. At the point when you enter that settlement route, whether a fiance visa or a spouse visa or partner visa for the first time, whatever applied to you, that would continue to apply till you reach your ILR, provided the sponsor is the same, provided the partner, husband, wife is the same. Okay, I have 2 minutes. Joel question on YouTube. I'm skilled worker visa. My contracted hour is 40 per week. Question is on my payslip. Is it mandatory to show hours, or if they put basic, is it okay? I don't think it is mandatory to show the hours. Whatever the amounts should be sufficient, provided the numbers are correct. So ours, there is no such requirement in the immigration rules. I have never seen that. Me too. I'm a British citizen born before 1980 in India. Got citizenship from father. Okay. Was in ground services. My Indian born son eligible to British passport. Indian born son eligible for British passport. Yeah, you really need to speak to an immigration lawyer and get a proper advice on this. Citizenship is quite complex. It is difficult for me to answer a yes and no unless I know all the facts of the case, the date of birth, when the child is born, where are you, how long one has lived, etc., etc. So either book a consultation with us or any other immigration lawyer. I may give a wrong answer over here. So another general questions that I have. Yeah, last while. Okay, my time is up for the open live. No more questions. The YouTube live will also switch to a member only. If you want to ask any questions, become a member. It's just the price of a coffee or something, I think, and you can ask any questions during that live. So this is ending.